I'm Kelly O'Donnell in Florida, where President Trump flashed a thumbs up to supporters who lined his motorcade route to Mar-a-Lago. For a president known for freely expressing his thoughts, his restraint now is noteworthy, if only temporary. Friday night at Mar-a-Lago,
Well, first of all, I want to thank everybody.
the president kept things light at a private Republican fundraiser. No journalists there, but attendees posted on social media as he welcomed donors and teased ally Lindsey Graham.
I know if I'm here, he's not going to say anything bad about me, right?
Today, the president's outside legal counsel says they've had no contact recently with the attorney general or special counsel. The president has not seen Mueller's report, and neither have his lawyers. But Rudy Giuliani offered his own favorable prediction, saying the special counsel could describe the president's handling of James Comey's firing as unwise or imprudent, but not an obstruction of justice. Mueller's findings are fuel for both parties on the campaign trail. Democrats today demand swift transparency.
I think the bulk of this report should be released to the public.
We really need a full accounting of what happened if we're ever going to be able to move on.
I believe that there is no question the American people not only have an interest but a need to see everything that's in that report.
Tonight, there's no indication the White House is prepared to say anything more. The president is scheduled to return to Washington late Sunday afternoon, so it's possible he could be in the air if the attorney general decides to release some information during that time. And if the president still keeps all of his thoughts close to the vest, he has a campaign rally scheduled for Thursday in Michigan. That's the kind of forum where he often vents whatever is on his mind.
Hey, NBC News fans, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.